Hey everybody, Hernke here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in Pasadena at a lovely restaurant called Edwin Mills by Equator with owner Teddy. Known this guy for quite a while. Always out there smoking cigars and stuff like that. I said, hey, I gotta come here and have some cigars too and enjoy the really good food here. It's been quite a while.
Long
since
time.
I've been here.
Long time.
Yeah.
God, I think when I met you, you must have been at least 17, 18.
Yeah.
It's been that long, right?
Yeah.
A lot of my people, I mean, gotta understand one thing. I've been here 25 years. And in 25 years, I've seen a lot of transformation with everything. In the city, with the people, with the kids that came here. And I mean, you have to understand, back then, if you were 14, 15, Equator was the place to be. Right? Because the kids had nowhere else to go. Old Pasadena was surrounded with bars, restaurants. The parents wanted to go out, but the kids needed to go somewhere. So they used to come here, and then I used to have karaoke nights. I used to have open mic nights, art shows. I mean, everything that people wanted to do, they wanted to come to Equator. So, and that's the beautiful thing sometimes now is, you know, people come and say, oh, Teddy, you know, I met my husband here. Oh, our first date was here. Or this is where I used to hang out and I used to always watch you and admire you and learn from you and you gave us some life lessons. And I go, that's all about. That is the beauty about the American dream. You know, and I've seen kids that were out there homeless who have families now who still hit me up on Facebook. And like our friendship, you know. Who wouldn't think that you'd be in the movie industry and you're going, you know, in the right path? And I love it because, again, everybody that I know ended up going to the right path is because of what this beautiful country offers you.
Yep.
So,
I agree.
so then by 2005, I got stuck with the Starbucks and Coffee Bean war. And their ultimate goal was to take out the mom and pop coffee shops. So then that's when I had to make a decision on what's going on in my life, because I don't want to go there and close the doors down. So basically I was stuck with an idea, okay, what am I going to do? Am I closing the doors? Am I walking away? Am I losing everything I worked hard for? Then I decided to apply for the liquor license, which is a state lottery. And I told myself, if I get it, then it's meant to be. So I applied for a liquor license. Every September there's a drawing with the Alcohol Beverage Control. And I applied for it, and then next thing you know, I won. Perfect. Let's take it to the next level. So I evolved into a restaurant and into alcohol and kept the coffee. Well, by 2013, people kept walking by and saying, oh, that's Equator Coffee House, and they kept walking. I go, shit, what am I gonna do? I gotta rebrand myself. But then Equator's the baby. I don't want to lose the baby. So the side alley is Edwin Ward's, named after General Edwin Ward's, and then we got the Mills place, which is the main street.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, perfect. Edwin Mills, it's right by Equator. Then that's how I came up with Edwin Mills by Equator.
That's awesome.
And
That's
we've been kicking ass. Excuse the noise for a little bit because of the staff's trying to open up.
Oh, it's all good.
And so we evolved, and then this next chapter of my life happened, which is this bullshit pandemic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you know, they get to me and they tell me, and in the beginning it was a little bit harder because, is this a restaurant or is this your personal site? Because, you know, you're venting a lot. Well, I tried to explain to them, imagine in life, 25 years, you worked and you paid off everything. And then all of a sudden, it's like a horror movie. It stopped. Everything stopped.
Your
Health department calls you and tells you you're going to be shut down for 2 weeks. Okay. Because of the pandemic. Okay. And then that 2 weeks became 2 months. It started continuing. Well, fuck, I couldn't afford the staff.
Yeah.
I laid off 20 employees. Right? So after I laid off the 20 employees, out of frustration, out of anger, I went to social media just to vent myself because I figured it's cheaper than paying a therapist. right?
Yep.
You know, my wife and everybody else said, Ted, what the hell are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that on social media. And I said, screw it. They're taking me down. What do you want me to do? But Lord and behold, it ended up benefiting me. Because there's more people out there that are going through what I'm going through, but they don't have the balls to talk about it. Right? I did it out of venting because you're making me lose everything that I worked hard for, that I provide for my family. And what you could do is you come back and say, here's a 30-year loan at a low interest rate, right? Yeah, they give a little $25,000 here, fund, a little $10,000 here. But what is that going to cover?
Right.
So nobody ever overlooks the entire picture of what's going on. They just basically, all of a sudden, the America that I knew, the America that my parents went through hell to come to, was not the America that I knew.
Yeah, it drastically changed within a year.
It makes you think that if you really overall look at the whole picture of what's going on is, they send messages, right? In the beginning it was white privilege, white privilege, white privilege. So what happens is a lot of these rich, spoiled white kids took that in as the white privilege and decided to attack this beautiful country of ours. You don't see no immigrants going out there saying, screw America, screw America. You don't see that. You only see with the kids that were born in this country,
Yeah.
that had everything handed over to them in this country. And the manipulating game that this government plays, it got me ticked off. Because here I am working my ass off, 18 hours a day, bro. And you started in the beginning by saying, oh, let's focus on the illegals. And everybody got brainwashed on that. Daca, Daca, Daca. Okay? And I tell people this one thing. I don't care how I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican or I'm not a Democrat. I vote for the person that I think fits best for the office, right? I'm a businessman. Now, when I had to choose between Hillary Clinton and Trump, of course I chose Trump. A businessman, right? B, somebody who dealt with the mafia and the unions in New York, who made it big. That's somebody who has balls, okay? So to me, that's what I overall look at. But if it wasn't for Trump to be in the office, you wouldn't know how corrupt our system is. Because he screwed up their agenda, okay? We found out that the FBI is corrupt. We found out that the senators are corrupt. We found out that judges are corrupt. There's Republicans that are corrupt, a lot of Democrats that are corrupt, and their agenda got ruined. The media is corrupt. Social media is corrupt, right? Currently, right now, on Instagram, I'm ghost shadowed or something like that. Shadow banned?
Shadow banned, yeah.
Shadow banned, okay. And their excuse is because of what I say, but not exactly what I say. They don't come to what I say. And it's really easy. All you gotta do is get a bunch of little kids who live in their mom's basement to go out and complain about me because I don't fit in their agenda and I offend them. Sensitive pansies that we grew up. We basically created the monsters that we have to live with today. And how do we create the monsters that we live today? When you turn around and tell the kids that you're all winners, that's screwing up the system. When you turn around and tell the kids, oh, you don't get spanked anymore, you get time out. Okay? And you give them everything that they want and need, and they start calling the shots to the parents,
Yeah.
you basically created a monster. And you could always look at that. You could look at Antifa, you could look at BLM, whoever it is. Majority is what? Rich white kids. They come from a great household. Right?
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
they screwed up the whole system for us. And that's what ticked me off and that's what pissed me off because nobody really looks into the story. BLM. Marxist communism group, right? My thing is this, which to me all lives matter, right? And when people attack me on social media, I always tell them, I said, okay, hold on. I'm an immigrant. I came from a communist country. I grew up in an all-black neighborhood with the only white family in the neighborhood here in Pasadena on Lake and Ladera in '79. Okay? I married a Mexican. So which part of me do you want to attack? You want to call me a racist? You can't. I have more black friends than you do. I grew up in the hood. I fought. I kicked ass. I got my ass kicked. Oh, I hate Latinos? My wife's Mexican. My mother-in-law doesn't know how to speak English. Which part of that, you know what I mean? You know about communism? Oh, I know about communism. I know when my mom waited in line for bread. I've seen my dad get arrested for changing rubles for dollars on the streets because that $20 a month was not enough for our household. Okay?
Yeah.
So I've seen all that. So there's nothing they could. They try to attack me, bro. I tell them, I go, it's like a churn out for me. What worse can you do when you take away everything from me that I worked hard for? You think your words are going to offend me at this point? No, they're not. So I attack all of them. If BLM is such a good cause, you don't complain why a lot of the major founders of BLM have $1 million homes, right?
Yeah.
They're not doing anything in Chicago. They're not doing anything for the black community here in Pasadena,
Right.
right? But they're brainwashed these kids to fight for them. Antifa, same shit. They're a bunch of bullies. Don't forget, they were the first ones to start brainwashing us that if you're a bully, you're a bad kid. But everything that they preached about is what they're doing today, right?
Yeah.
Then they talk about the one percenters. Bernie Sanders. Well, that motherfucker became the one percenter. Nobody questions that when they go into the office for $150,000 a year salary, how end up being a millionaires and billionaires? Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about the insider trader. All they can do is focus on Martha Stewart for inside trading, but meanwhile, Pelosi and everybody else is doing insider trading. See, these are things that I'm telling people. They can go do research. They can't turn around and tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist. It doesn't exist anymore because the truth is coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
The truth is coming out on everything. Pedophilers, these politicians are corrupt up the ass. So I'm going to speak about it because none of them are helping me out.
Yeah.
The only people that I could focus on is people that come to my establishment. Atmosphere, the ambiance, the service, and the food. If one fails, two will back it up. If two fails, I'm screwed. So I do my best to give the best service that they can get anywhere. I treat them like a 5-star restaurant, right? Because I know the next restaurant they go to, they might be short-staffed, and they won't get that treatment. I try my best to make the food as good as I can, and I'm not going to make everybody happy. Not everybody's going to like it. Everybody has just a different taste palette. You can't make everybody happy, right?
Right.
So you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. But keep in mind, I'm short-staffed, bro. Sometimes I have one cook in the back, or I have 2 cooks in the back.
Yeah. And then you have a full house. Yeah.
I have a full house and a full outside.
Yeah.
So I try to make everybody happy. And I'm going to piss off some people, and I apologize for it. The ambiance is there,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm the type of guy that I go touch tables. I say thank you to people. Because without them, I won't be here where I am today. That is the American dream, bro. And these people are neglecting and forgetting about what makes us American. People are dying, drowning, just to come to this country. And the spoiled brats that are here are the ones that are bitching and complaining. The woke organization. You know what a woke organization is? It's a group of rich kids getting high. Dude, I find that offensive. Yeah, dude, that offended me. Fuck your sensitive ass offended you.
Yeah.
You know what offended me is when the KGB came checking on our trains and we had to pretend that we're sleeping. You know what offends me is when other government agencies come and beat the shit out of your dad and you can't do shit about it. Those are the some to offend, right? And they hold back. They pick on everything of this country. We learn from our mistakes. You can't come around and tell me about, oh, slavery, this and that. No. Slavery started in Africa by their own people.
Yep.
The African tribes took other tribes that were weak and they sold them off. If you want to go about slavery, my country being the first Christian in the nation, Armenia. We've been raped, savaged by the Mongols, the Persian Empire, Alexander the Great, the Ottoman Empire. I go on and on about how my people have been slaved and raped and killed and massacred. We got pictures and videos. But we learn from that lesson. In this beautiful country of ours, we learn from our lesson. We learn from the mistakes of what happened to the American Indians. We learn from the mistakes of what happened with the slavery with the blacks. But people don't want to focus on that. People will turn around and just call you a white supremacist for no fucking reason because they can. It's their way to release themselves. No. I tell people straight on, I'm a racist. I hate everybody equally. Right? You want to attack me? There you go. I hate everybody equally. But let's go to the key point. Who started the KKK? It was the Democratic Party who started the KKK. They don't realize that. They don't realize that, right? All they could do is turn around because the media, the social media, everybody else said Trump's an asshole, this and that. They bought into that. Trump was a businessman. Just like I'm a businessman. You could throw me in front of a million of people. I can't talk like a fucking politician. I'm going to talk like a businessman. So he talks like a contractor talks.
Yep.
You see a beautiful woman, you're going to comment on the beautiful woman. That's how contractors are always known. They whistle and they look and admire a beautiful woman. Right?
Yeah.
So these people took whatever the media fed them, whatever the social media fed them, and said, okay, this guy's an asshole. Well, if this guy's an asshole, you 80 million people that voted for fucking senile Biden, okay? And I told him on social media, why don't you tell me one positive thing he's done for this country? In the beginning, when he shut off the pipelines, we were energy efficient. We didn't need anything. When he shut that off, our gas prices went up. And I went and told him on social media, when the gas prices go up, the truck driver is going to charge more.
And then everything in the
everything
store
goes up. And then when you turn on and start talking big that you're going to tax 25% of big corporations, what are big corporations going to do? They're going to move that on to the people.
Yep. That's how I do that since I was a child.
See, you have the same disease as I do. It's called CS.
Yeah. Common sense.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense, what some people have. There's an old saying that I tell people. If you complain, you remain. If you praise, you'll be raised. I don't care what religion you are. But me as a Christian, okay, and I'm not heavy duty into it. I have my ways of beliefs and my way of worshiping. But if you wake up in the morning with a negative attitude, that you hate this person, hate that person, you're already put the seed inside of you of negativity. But if you wake up in the morning by saying, oh, I'm alive again, the sun's out again, the birds are, that's a positive move, right? So when you're complaining, you're just stuck in that same shithole with all the shit around you.
Yep.
And don't complain that you're surrounded by shit because you created your own shit. Get out of the toilet. Look at the positive side of the world. You're alive. God gave you, or your spirit gave you, or your Orisha gave you another chance in life. Why don't you start at the positive? They could always focus on the negative. And they don't see the hardship that I went through in life. They only look at overall picture of who I am today. But I tell everybody, you're like a piece of seed on the ground. You're going to get walked over. You're going to get spit on. But one day you're going to blossom to that beautiful flower that you are. That's up to you how you want to blossom. You want to be stuck under the dirt? Then get stuck under the dirt. Right?
Right.
Even the Bible says, as I walk through the valley of death, you go through the darkness in order to see the light at the end to appreciate it. But what this happens now with these people is everybody is divided. They divided the black community, they divided the white community. Oh, shame on you for being white, you're white privilege, right? They divided the Latinos because it's, Daca and immigration. But nobody questions it. It's like they're like little babies with the key rattling here, rattling there. They go from one point to another point. Where's all my Latinos under Daca? The Democratic Party's in the House, the Senate, and the presidency. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's out there right now saying that, oh, I want Daca immigration. Well, motherfucker, you got the whole House and Senate and your president. Why don't you talk about it? Which already shows you is they go ahead and say something and these people fall for it. Right? I could talk for hours about my political views, and I don't think your channel would have enough time for people, viewers, to watch so much of it. But be tired of the division. I'm tired of, like I said, with the Latinos, Daca, with the blacks, oh, they enslaved you, with the whites telling them shame on you, you know. And all these divisions, negativity, and every time you turn on the media is negativity. There's an old saying, you can lie so much, eventually your shit's gonna come up top. And I feel like we're getting to that point. Because these people started dividing each other, so together we don't come as one, as strong. And then it was about the mask and unmasked. That phased away. Now you're vaxxed and unvaxxed. Right? In the beginning they turn around and say that, but in all reality, guys, I don't like the fact that families are getting divided because of what your president is saying. That is so stupid. Think about it. Separation from your loved ones. What is this life if you're just by yourself? What is the definition of life if you don't have a family to call a family, relatives to call relatives? But yet you invite a certain relative because they're vaccinated, and you don't want to invite another relative because they're not vaccinated. And your point being is what? You both catch it, you both can spread it. You're just basically saying that you're not coming to my party because when you get it, you're going to end up in the hospital and die. Really? That's the cause? That's the case?
Yeah.
And I tell people, do your research. Go to Israel, go to England. At least with their CDCs, they have stats. And ours doesn't. That should automatically tell you something. But again, I could go on hours for this. But back to the point of the restaurant. See how I went way there and came way back here?
You went down a rabbit hole. It's good.
I can't. Anytime somebody wants to interview me or something, I have to speak out. This country made me who I am today. That flag, I have a lot of respect for. Because I don't know where I would be if I wasn't in this beautiful country. It gave me an opportunity. It made me who I am. Because all you got to do in this beautiful country of ours that you can't do in any other country, dream and become. That's it. That's the beautiful thing about the American dream. Dream, work hard, and become somebody. Become whatever your dream is, whether it's an actor, whether it's a business owner. We all have that opportunity that other countries don't even give you that opportunity. Yeah. So much love for America, much love and respect for it. I will be a diehard patriot for this country because since '79, I'm 49 years old. This country made me who I am. And I'm not going to put it down because if it wasn't for this country, I don't know where I would be. And I don't know who I would be. You know?
Yeah. I was thinking about that too on the way over here. Is the times I grew up in were a lot simpler, and those things that you were talking about, those things never crossed my mind when I was a kid.
Never.
At all.
Never.
I just looked at life, I accepted everybody for who they were, and I enjoyed
We don't know racism.
Yeah.
It's the books and all this bullshit and the news and the media that are making people racist. People that grew up in our times are treating people the way you want to be treated. That's it. That's life. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Right? But
yeah.
Again, if you can't see the overall picture of everything getting expensive on you, if you can't see the overall picture, crime rate is going up because the dumbasses have defund the police. People with common sense know. You try to take the zookeeper out of the zoo, the animals are going to go wild. No matter what. But yet all the democratic states are the ones going crazy. If you have a DA that ruined San Francisco and now is the DA of LA, would you possibly thought it was going to happen? He's going to make things better? You idiots. When I hire somebody for working for me at the restaurant, I look at their resume. I make the phone calls. I want to see how the customer service is before I hire them. Only in California that you could hire a DA that has the shittiest resume and say that this DA should come in, replace the black woman that we had originally for a DA, and brought in this communist bastard. And then they complain because crime's going up. You're complaining because you're being mugged, raped. Your stores are being privileged. They're coming in and taking everything they want to take, and you can't do shit about it. See? That's something you should think about. That's common sense, dumbasses. Anyway, besides the point.
Yeah.
Edwin Mills. Let's go back to it. My favorite dish, potato wrap snapper.
Potato wrap snapper.
We basically unwind the potato like a string, soak it up in the water, and once the customer orders it, take the snapper out, wrap it around it. Comes with sweet yams, comes with garlic spinach sauteed. The salmon that I have is a Norwegian wild salmon, which I like also. Those are the fish dishes. The basil mignon is my meat dish that I like to go to. And the fancy salad as far as salad goes. So back to the restaurant talk, and
How did you come up with these dishes, or did the chefs that you hire say, "Hey, this is what I can make. Try it out"?
I have a good taste palate. I'm not a cook, but every year I go to New York. To me, New York is the number one place where you make it or you break it. The best restaurants come out in New York. You fail in New York, everybody will know about it, you're done. So a couple of my friends that I have who live in New York, they always make the reservations in the hard to get to restaurants. And I would try a dish, get an idea, and then come back here and try to make it, if I can, as better as those chefs, which, I try my hardest, and make some uniqueness, something different. A lot of some of my dish, when people say, what is your plates? It's New American, and to me, New American means what's demographically, what do we have? Asian influence, Latino influence. So my fusion of certain dishes have a little, like the fish tacos that I have, the curry pineapple fried rice or the pork belly fried rice are the Asian side of it. And that's it.
And you still have the spicy tuna crispy rice, right?
No, I don't have that anymore. I
That was
wanted
my favorite
I
dishes
know,
here,
I
too.
know, but I had to make things simplified.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a Cheesecake Factory when you go to books and books and books.
Right.
So I try to simplify it. I try to change it up as much as I possibly can. And I know that I could sit here and talk to you for 6 hours, if not longer. So we cut it short. And hopefully your viewers enjoy the conversation that we're having.
Absolutely.
And if they want a second round, let's go. I'm
do
ready
it.
for it.
Yeah. And come on out and enjoy some really, really good food here at the Equator. Edwin Mills Equator in Pasadena.
EdwinMills.com. Or you can follow us on social media if I'm not shadow banned at Edwin Mills by Equator.
That's right. And if you like cigars, do some cigar smoking out front, yeah?
Not up front no more. I do it in the alley on the side.
Okay. So
So-
you have tables and stuff set up?
I set
there?
up some side, yeah.
All
I'm like the
right.
80s, bro. Smoking section or not smoking section. I don't give a shit anymore. They're not paying my bills.
That's right. It
Great
was a
seeing you as
pleasure, man.
always, okay?
Thank you.
Say hello to the wife.
I will.
All right.
Thank you again. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button below for more interviews coming up. This is Hans Hernke and Teddy signing out. Thank you
See ya.
again.